Gary B pala, no? Ay, hindi Anjo. Liana, na? Ganyan si Seth. Okay. Parang kilala ko yung kinukwento mo, Daddy, no? Ako yung kinukwento ni Daddy, nakakalungkot kasi he's one of the members of the Worldwide Church of God during the heydays of worldwide. Okay? And dito mismo sa Malolos, during those days, nasa 60 daw ang members ng Worldwide Church of God dito sa Malolos. Okay? So we're wondering, nasa na ngayon yung 60 na yon? Kasi lahat po nang nandito ngayon sa Malolos, even all the baptized members, hindi mo nang kahit ni isa ko wala nang galing doon sa 60. Except for si Mang Carlos. I don't know si Mr. Fajardo. Nasa Malolos na ba kayo during that time? Oh, hindi siya dito di ba? Okay. So, we're wondering, nasa na yung 60? Okay. So, we don't know where they are right now, di ba? Okay. Pero binabanggit ni Mang Miguel na member, galing yan sa Living. From worldwide na punta sa Living. Alam ko yung naging personal and family problem niya because yun din ang naging raise niya dun sa government and admin ng Living. Kasi nagkaroon niya ng problema sa kanyang asawa. Okay. And then doon na nagsimula yung problema niya, gano'n. Tapos doon siya medyo na-disappoint siya, na-frustrate siya. Okay, sa nangyari doon sa kanya doon sa Living, sa asawa niya. And then for quite some time, attending with us. Okay, pupunta siya rito. And then eventually, nag-stop din ng attending. And maybe somehow, sinasabi ni Mang Miguel na mayroong naka-influence din sa kanya. Nakakarinig siya ng iba-ibang turo at nataon pa. Ngayon yung time na medyo frustrated siya sa buhay niya. Siyempre, yung timing minsan yung timing. Minsan instead of encouraging pag may problema, yung iba sinasamantala, pumapasok ng papasukan ng ibang paniniwala, ibang doktrina during the weakest times ng member, di ba? So, baka ganun yung nangyari. Daddy, no? Possible na yun. So, ang problema, hindi yan nawawala. Okay? Kaakibat yan ng buhay, kasama yan. Kasi without problems, we won't grow. Okay, we won't develop our godly character. Pag marami ng problema, kakantahan nyo lang yan. Diba? Ano yung kinakanta? Kung wala ka na, maintindihan. Diba? Ha? Favorite mo yan?
Probinsyano. Sa probinsyano yan.
Probinsyano. Ano na lyrics niyan? Kung wala ka nang maintindihan.
Kumapit ka sa...
Kumapit ka. Yun yan dahil.
Di kita bibitawan.
Di kita bibitawan. Kumapit ka lang sa Diyos, no? Hindi ka bibitawan ng Diyos. Okay, nandun lang yan. Okay? Last week nasa nasa Sagay. Okay, mabuti na lang at hindi sa Ninoy Aquino International Airport bumaba ang mga delegates ng ng ASEAN. Lahat sila sa Clark. That's what they did sa Clark nila pinababa. Okay, kasi the last year na APEC diyan sa Nahiya. Ganun din naman naging resulta, tremendous din pa din yung naging traffic kasi they still close half ng bawat road, di ba? So hindi kayo umabot sa service. Umabot kayo.
Uwian na.
Uwian na. Buntot. Okay? Mahina yung driver nyo. Hindi niya ginaya si Maria Isabel Lopez.
Be like Maria, no?
Oo.
Be like Maria.
Pwede naman, tatanggalin lang naman yung di ba? Tapos mag-video pa kayo. Woo! Isang delegate, di ba? Ganun lang yun, Daddy. Dapat. Di ba? Darating kayo sa Bigsan on time. Di ba? So, you arrive, patapos na. Meriendahan na. And then, balik din agad kayo.
Hindi naman po. Pero shipping din naman.
Anong oras na kayo nakabalik? Pauwi?
Siguro gabi na eh.
Na-traffic na naman, pabalik.
Okay. Ako naman, mabilis lang ang biyahe ko nun pa uwi from airport. Siguro mga 1 to 1.5 hours lang. Marami naman tinuro yung si Waze. Okay. Dapat nag-Waze yung driver nyo papunta sa Piksan. Kasi sa EDSA lang kasi kayo dumaan. Kung nag-Waze kayo, hindi kayo sa EDSA ituturo ng Waze. Maraming daan sa loob.
Sa San Juan o sa...
Oo, San Juan. Ang labas niya sa Shaw Boulevard na yan. Sa may PB Bara, kayo dadaan yan. I'm sure hindi traffic doon. Okay. Kaya traffic sa EDSA going to South kasi yung Ross Boulevard, sinarado yun Sinarado yung Ross Boulevard, hindi nila pinadadaanan. Kasi doon nga, nandun kasi yung mga hotels kung saan mag-check-in itong mga
Kasi sa MOA, ano
kasi si Trudeau yata sa sa Manila Pen ba? Doon yata naka-check-in, sa Manila Pen, Makati, sa doon. Kasi may choice yung mga Soler.
Naka 5-star.
Ano yan? Sofitel. Okay, so yan nila binok. Okay? I don't know si Trump kung saan binok. Baka sa, maybe Diamond Hotel. Or maybe sa Okada. Or maybe Okada, no?
Mga bagong hotel.
So, ganun. So, last week, nasa Sagay ako, okay naman yung biyahe. At hindi naman na-perwisyo yung mga lumipad. Kasi last year, ang dami na cancel na flight, tapos ang dami delay. So, kaya ginawa nila, sa flight lahat ang baba, para walang apektado dito sa Ninoy Aquino.
Naka no-fly zone kasi Ninoy Aquino nun, no-fly zone.
Oo, no-fly zone. Kasi nga, darating sila, di ba? Okay. Lahat ng flights mo kinansel. Kaya sabi nila, binug nila sa Clark. Sa Clark nga naman, wala silang kalaban pagbaba. Saka pag-alis. Okay. Tsaka, in-exclusive nila yung Clark. That's why, ang kanilang ginawang holiday from Pampanga, Bulacan to Metro Manila kasi yan ang dadaanan. Okay, ng delegates. Okay? Ang di ko lang maintindihan, bakit yung Thursday tsaka Friday, in-holiday pa rin sa mga bata? Sayang may dalawang araw na to. Diba? Okay, so I was in Sagay last week, and next week I will be in Sagay also. Okay? And then after that is the Bible study, December 2, the Nativity of Christ, di ba? The story never told. Okay, so we give you, actually narinig din yung message na yan, kaya lang ipabundle lang together. You've heard about that, the manger, di ba? You've heard about the Magi's. Okay, so yun lang yun, basically binuo namin ulit, and then yun ang ating Bible study. Okay, December 2, and then on December 9, I will be in Tacloban. Okay, because the mother of Pearl Gonzalez, they're requesting for visiting from CGI because for quite some time yata hindi na sila umaattend sa Living Church of God. May problema yata yung church government ng Living dito sa Philippines. I think sa ibang bansa wala naman na like dito. So medyo lately marami pong mga members ng Living na medyo wondering kung saan sila po pwedeng lumipat. Okay. At nakakita sila ng example na galing sa Living lumipat dito, naging successful. At marami nang alam ngayon. Okay? Kahit mga tanong, hindi pa rin nasasagot. Si Ray, di ba? So, si Ray ang naging living testimony. So pag tinatanong siya, kumusta dyan? Ganito, kaya kwento niya, masira ulo mga tao. Pagkatapos ng service, pagkain ng inaatupag. Kwento niya, narati na. I think they ask you a lot, right? No? Okay, so I think he's only telling the truth. What he found in CGI, okay, about the church government, about the administration, about also the teaching, wala naman technical sa teaching, except that we have different perspectives, in-depth understanding, di ba? Yun yung meron kasi ibang Church of God organization, medyo, if you will hear their messages, it's almost, para ka nagbasa ng pamphlet. O para ka nagbasa ng booklet. So basically, ganun. Ganun lang. Like dito sa atin, pag siyempre si Seth nag-deliver, di ba?
Medyo
Diba?
medyo
Iba
ano.
natin. Pag si Daddy nag-deliver, iba rin na natin. May kasamang chismis kasi nakasama sa chismis. Diba? Kakaiba. So, iba yung mga messages. Kaya,
Iba yung style.
iba yung style. And if I recall it right, CGI is the only Church of God organization na merong public Bible study campaign. At matapang na sinasagot yung mga katanungan. Okay? Matapang.
Next to
Ewan ko wala akong ma-recall kung meron man sa iba. Meron ba sa Living? Wala. I think sa United meron, kaya lang hindi daw ganyan ka-extensive yung Bible study.
Screen yung makikinig.
Ni-screen yung makikinig. Okay. Tsaka yung magtatanong, i-screen din. So parang Eli Soriano, no? Scripted yung mga tanong in advance. Alam na ni Eli Soriano yung mga tanong mo. Kaya hindi doon pwedeng biglaan kang magtatasi kasi naka-ano na yan sila. Naka-program na yun. Okay? So on December 9, I will be in Tacloban. Okay? And most likely next year, I will be very busy kasi I will be flying to more often to Sagay and Tacloban. So we will be developing a new local church in Tacloban. Kasi sabi ni Mrs. Gonzales, medyo ilan din yung members doon. And yun ang si Mr. and Mrs. Hipe, di ba?
Yes.
Si Mr. and Mrs. Hipe. Eden po yung pangalan ng babae. Yung lalaki ko. O yun. Tapos, anak nila si Shane, di ba? Okay. So, taga-Tacloban din sila. So, ang layo lang ng bahay nila ni Mrs. Gonzales at nila Hipe, siguro mga 1 hour lang. Okay, so they can go to Mrs. Gonzales area. So every time na pupunta. So most likely yung schedule magiging gano'n. So I expect Seth and Mang Miguel to have more assignments. Okay? And Wilson and I agreed that next year we will have another leadership training, and we will be inviting there si John, si Ray, maybe Nico, and other members who would like to join the leadership training. Okay? Kaya lang baka itong leadership training na to marathon, 1 week lang siya gagawin. Imbis na 1 year. 1 week lang. Okay, doon sa office, doon sa IBM.
Eastwood.
Sa Eastwood. Maybe whole day. Whole day for 1 week. Hindi makakatid si Jan, tsaka si Nico, no? O wag, gawin na lang natin 1 year.
Every weekend.
Crash course.
Normally yun, Sabbath yun. Ginagawa. Sabbath on the Sabbath na merong BS. Sa umaga nun. Ganun ginagawa yung leadership. Di ba dati, no? So, baka next year may leadership training ulit kasi merong mga gustong umatin. Maybe si Edsel. Gusto ba ni Edsel?
Ewan ko.
I don't know.
Ayoko.
So, yan. Okay? So, pray harder for the work.
Ikaw lang sir.
We have a lot of things to do, but we need workers in the church.
May work.
We want to expand. And we're only how many ministers and ordained elders. We might be spreading ourselves too thin, so we need more leaders. And para eventually meron pong ibang... Kasi pag naging busy ako doon, si Seth na ang dito. Ang pwede maging in charge, na? Okay. Si Seth na. Kaya na ni Seth yan. Diba? Diba, Seth? Kasi we want to make you a blessing for us. Diba? Na? Pakakanta mo lang, diba? Make you a blessing. Diba? Okay? So, that would be some announcement. Invite kayo sa December 2, maganda yung Bible study. Okay? Happy Sabbath once again. 2 weeks ago, we had our Bible study, di ba? About people burning in hell. And we learned, as we always teach to other people, that there are no people right now in hell today. Right? the being burned day and night, forever and ever. Amen. May amen pa. Okay? And how did you find the BS? Yung nakaraang BS? Ano?
Maganda.
Okay siya.
Opo.
Was it good? Was it great?
Paglilinaw rin eh.
Paglilinaw. Okay. The presentation, I agree, was great. Maganda yung presentation, di ba?
Hindi na rin.
We discuss about the first death, and then you have the first resurrection. Diba? When you are part of the first resurrection, you will not be part of the second death. Diba? Okay. May first death, and then if you are not part of the first resurrection, you will be part of the second resurrection. Then you will be judged, and then after that, those who are wicked will be part of the second death. Okay. Yung judge na hindi, yung good, will be part of the saved. Diba? Okay. And we learned that there's no hell right now, na ever burning, and no people dead. The presentation was good. But in the Q&A portion, okay, maybe because of limited time, Winston and I were not so happy about the Q&A. In fact, we believe that we did poorly in sa Q&A. Do you agree? Ha? Do you agree sa Q&A? Ha? Ha?
Okay naman.
Sagot mo naman ng maayos ah.
Okay naman ba?
Pero parang iniwasan na i-detalye.
Oo, parang iwasan yung detalye kasi unang-una hahaba. Okay.
Oo.
Dinudge the bullet
So,
lang.
pero siyempre kasama kasi, if you are in our shoes, okay, at ganon, minsan mafe-feel mo na parang may kulang eh, di ba? May kulang. Or parang, parang hindi kompleto. Okay? Kung kayo yung sumasagot eh. Kasi in as much as you want to explain it further, kaya na-extended tayo. So there were two major questions during the BS. If I still recall it, I think more than two in question, but there were two notable questions, right? During the BS. One was about the parable of the Lazarus and the rich man. Diba? Tama? Okay. And the other one was about what? About the millennium. Right? About the millennium. Mr. Winston last week explained further the parable of the rich man and Lazarus. Sino yung nandun last week? Okay. Nasimulan niyo yung message niya?
Parang nila
Hindi, sa
binalikan.
nasimulan niyo. Okay, di ba? He's not happy, di ba? Okay, we did poorly. So, were you able to hear the message? Sila daddy, kalahati, or patapos na, 30 minutes na lang. Si John, si Seth, si Billy, narinig nila ng buo. I was not there, but Winston sent me yung draft message niya. My family was not there too. So, having heard the message of Winston, do we now understand the message of the parable? Is it more clearer now? Lazarus and the rich man. Daddy, kayo. Dahil kalahati lang, pwede pa rin maintindihan?
Hindi din naman.
Maintindihan.
Oo.
May konting recap kasi nung dumating sila.
May
May recap.
recap.
Pagkatapos, dinugtong ulit.
He actually connected the parable and the parallelism of the parable to Matthew 24 and Matthew 25. Tama?
Oo, tama yun.
Okay, so explain niya. So I think, it's good to hear that you now know and understand about the parable. Right? Of the Lazarus and the rich man. Si Ray, wala. I'll just send to you the draft email. Okay, just text me your email address. This afternoon, Winston tackled about the parable of the Lazarus and the rich man. This afternoon, I will tackle the other question raised during the BS. And it is about the millennium. Okay, millennium. Tita Josie, kilala niyo si Tita Josie? Our prospective member. okay, in our church, a member of SDA, she was the one who asked about that question. If you still recall it right. During the BS. Babae. Oh, okay. Sabi niya kasi, her co-member in SDA, okay, raised the question about the millennium.
Heaven.
And sabi sa kanya, nung co-member niya sa SDA, the millennium will be spent in
Heaven.
heaven. Okay. And si Tita Josie, she wants to learn more about the truth from the Bible about millennium. Which I answered partly. Kasi pag discuss mo millennium, mahaba eh. Mahaba yun. Okay. So, partly ko lang nasagot siya. Hindi siya buo. Okay? The question was about the millennium. Will it be spent in heaven or here on earth? For us, to totally understand the stand of SDA about this teaching, let's know first what is their full teaching about it. Diba? And where did they get the basis, okay, for that teaching? Si Tita Mayen, dati siyang SDA. Tama, di ba? And we all know in SDA, there's a book written by Ellen G. White. And the title of the book is Great
May
Controversy.
Minimik
May kopya ka ba niyan, Tita?
Siya kayo nga?
Ha?
Yun ang kubit niya.
Ano yan? Pinamimigay ba yan sa members o only the elders and the pastors?
Yung
Okay.
ano.
If I still call it right, isa sa mga kaklase namin ng Rizal, nung high school, ay SDA. Diba, Sed, ano?
Si Ana.
Pinuntahan namin yun sa bahay. At nakausap namin yung father niya. I think yung father niya during that time was already an ordained deacon or elder. No? Okay. And if I still recall it right, pinakita sa amin yung book na yan. Nalala mo ba yun, Sed? Pinakita sa atin yung book.
Hindi ko na matandaan.
Hindi mo na matandaan. Ano?
Basta ang alam ko lang, matino tayo na parang ano nila yung Revelation Seminar.
Hindi, other than that, di ba, minsan bibisita tayo sa bahay.
Mm.
Okay, so, nakita namin yung, ako ay sir Colin, nakita ko yung book na yun, Great Controversy. In passing, yung mga tinignan. Okay. So, the teaching of SDA about millennium spent in heaven, okay, they got the teaching from the writings of Ellen G. White, whom they considered their prophetess. Prophetess siya. Okay. But today, SDA, they have some problems. Because some, they do not want to follow the teachings of Ellen G. White. Okay. Kasi nakita nila yung iba maraming mali. But the hardcore, the traditional, okay, the conventional SDA members, they still believe and stick with the teachings of Ellen G. White. Okay. I searched the net. Okay. What is the really teaching of Adventists regarding millennium? And this is what I found. I'll read to you. Seventh-day Adventists teach the following about the millennium. Okay. Number one, at the second coming of Christ, the wicked are slain and the righteous are whisked away to heaven. Okay? So yun ang sabi. And what they quote, di ba normally, pag yan ang statement mo about the beliefs, you will quote biblical verse. Tama? Okay. They quoted not a biblical verse. They quoted from the writings of Ellen G. White. Great Controversy. Ang nakalagay doon, angels gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heaven to the other. Little children are born by holy angels to their mother's arms. Friends long separated by death are united, never more to part. And with songs of gladness, ascend together to the city of God. They ascend together to the city of God. He's referring to heaven above. Okay, so yun yung kanyang explanation. And that can be found in the Great Controversy in page 645. Okay, so kung makakuha kayo ng copy noon, ganyan kakapal yan eh, no? Kita, makapal yan eh. And second, paniniwala nila, the wicked are annihilated and the earth is left empty and desolate for a period of 1,000 years. Okay? So the righteous, okay, the wicked will be slain, while the righteous will go to heaven. And all the wicked, okay, will be annihilated, and the earth will be left empty and desolate for a period of 1,000 years. And this is what Ellen White wrote in his book. At the coming of Christ, the wicked are blotted from the face of the whole earth, consumed with the spirit of his mouth, and destroyed by the brightness of his glory. Christ takes his people to the city of God, and the earth is emptied of its inhabitants. So yun yung pangalawa. Number 3, Satan is left to wander the earth alone during the millennium. Okay, during the millennium. And this is what he said in their book. And as the scapegoat was sent away into a land not inhabited, so Satan will be banished to the desolate earth, an uninhabited and dreary wilderness. So yung explanation niya, yung scapegoat, diba? Remember the scapegoat? During the ceremony of the Day of Atonement, di ba dinadala yun sa uninhabited area and wilderness. Ang kanyang interpretation doon, yung earth yun, kasi desolated siya, empty. Kasi nga, pinatay na lahat yung mga tao at yung righteous dinala sa heaven. So yun yung kanyang explanation. Okay? Number 4. At the close of the 1,000-year millennial period, the wicked are raised to life upon the earth. So yung doon dumating, pinatay na yung wicked, after 1,000, binuhay ulit sila. Diba? Wicked na, pinatay mo, binuhay mo pa ulit. Okay? And they form an army under the leadership of Satan. Wicked na nga sila before eh. Why you have to raise them and then form another army under again the influence of Satan? Diba? Christ again returns to the earth in a third coming. Third coming. With the saints. And he destroys all the wicked
Again.
again. Binuhay mo para
Awayin na ulit.
double dead. Sabi sa double dead. Okay? Diba? Double. So yun na sabi. And number 5, sabi niya, the saints spend the millennium in heaven. Their reign is limited to judging the dead. Bakit hindi judge yung dead? Yung dead na. Wow, grabe. And this is what they quote from the book. At his second advent, Christ takes his followers to heaven. But in what sense can the saints be said to reign if they are in heaven and all the wicked are dead? Their reign will consist of involvement in judgment. So, somehow, alam nila, di ba, na may reigning ng 1,000. Pero hindi nila ma-connect paano mag-reign at ano ang i-judge, ano ang gagawin. So, definitely,
True prophecy na kasi ni Ed.
Okay, that puro kasi prophecy at saka writings ni Ellen. So what are the problems with the Adventists about the millennium? Okay? The Seventh-day Adventist teachings on the millennium are very different from what the Bible teaching about the millennium. Sabi doon sa Adventists, number 1, the righteous will go back to heaven with Jesus after the second coming for 1,000 years. Okay? Satan is bound upon the earth for 1,000 years. Why you have to bound Satan on earth for 1,000 years while all the while he is here on earth with all his demons and all the evil spirits, and they roam around? In fact, Satan, okay, go back and forth, going up there and coming down. Diba? And he said at the end of the 1,000 years, there is a third coming when Jesus returns once again to the earth. Ang gulo. Ang gulo. Ang gulo.
Di ba kayo pababa ko ulit?
Magulo nga. Talaga magulo siya. And what's the Bible teaching about millennium? The righteous will remain and will rule on earth with Jesus after his coming. And that is on a period of 1,000 years. Satan is bound in the abyss or the bottomless pit. The location where it is right now, we don't know. Only God knows. But one thing is sure, he is not bound on earth, but in the abyss, in the bottomless pit. And that's for 1,000 years. And Jesus and the righteous are already living on the earth at the end, even at the end of 1,000 years. The Bible is very clear about it. Revelation chapter 20. So, it's like, pinasa ko sa inyo yung paniniwala nila about millennium. Want to know the complete? You can search the internet, you look for the millennium understanding or teaching of the Seventh-day Adventist. Revelation chapter 20. Let's start in verse 1. And I saw an angel coming down out of heaven, having the key to the abyss, and holding on his hand a great chain. Let's look at the original word for the abyss. Abyss. Depth, and then depth, less, that is abyss. Deep, malalim.
Bottomless pit.
Sobrang lalim niya. Okay, it's a bottomless pit. It's not really the earth. Okay? If it's the earth, then it's a different word used. It's a different location, area, where Satan will be bound.
Ito to
For 1,000 years.
China.
And holding in his hand a great chain, he seized the dragon, that ancient serpent, who is the devil or Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. He threw him into the abyss, okay, and locked and sealed it over him. So how can you lock and how can you seal the earth? If Satan is on earth for 1,000 years, do earth look like a prison cell? Diba? To keep him from deceiving the nations. So meaning, why Satan is locked? So that he cannot deceive anymore the people or the nation. So meaning there are people on this earth. And if he's to bound on earth for 1,000 years, nasa yung nations na yan? Nasa Mars? Nasa ibang planeta? kung siya lang mag-isa doon, nababaliw siya mag-isa. No. It's not what really the Bible is teaching, di ba? To keep him from deceiving the nations anymore until the 1,000 years were ended. And after that, he must be set free for a short time. Then I saw thrones on which were seated those who had been given authority to judge. And I saw the souls of those who had been beheaded because of their testimony for Jesus and because of the word of God. They had not worshipped the beast or his image and had not received his mark on their foreheads or their hands. They came to life and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years. Ito ang problema nila. They know that the righteous, the saints, okay, will reign for 1,000 years with Christ. But their problem, if they're in heaven, sino ang kanilang uhusgahan doon? Sino ang kanilang pag-aharian doon? And that's the problem that they cannot answer. Okay? Hindi malinaw ang kanilang sagot. And the rest of the dead did not come to life until the 1,000 years were ended. It seems, in their teaching, after 1,000 years, yung pinatay mo na wicked before 1,000 years are the same set of people that you will resurrect after 1,000 years. That's horrible. Horrible teaching. Totally unbiblical. And this is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy are those who have part in the first resurrection, because the second death has no power over them. But they will be priests of God and of Christ, and will reign with Him for 1,000 years. So we know, very malabo ang turo ng SDA. And we know that the Bible is very clear about the teachings on the subject of millennium. For us to totally understand about millennium, let's consider the following. Number one, the key in understanding the millennium or the 1,000-year reign of Christ is in the keeping of the feast. Okay? Because the feast days are prophetic in nature and sequential in events and in fulfillments. You cannot go wrong with that. The problem with the SDAs, they keep the weekly Sabbath, but they don't keep the annual Sabbath. That's why sino yung umatin dito palagi? Si Mang Sosi. Palagi siyang from time to time bumabalik. Kung kaya siguro ng katawan niya at kaya din ng may convenience sa kanyang mabiyahe, to learn more about the feast days. And I think, in SDA right now, more and more people are now coming to realize that they are lacking in what they are keeping. That not only the weekly Sabbath, but they have also to keep the annual. Kasi lately, ilan na yung naging member natin dito galing sa SDA? Tita Mayem. Diba? Si Tita Mayem. Diba? At si Tita Mayem. No, doon sa si Mr. and Mrs. Garcia. Adventist yun. Si Lani. Adventist yun. Meron ba yung mga lalaki na umaten? Sila, nandun yun sa feast, I forgot the name. Okay. Oo, taga Batangas. So, and then lately, yan nga, si Tita Josie and all other prospective members from SDA. So the key in understanding the millennium is actually in keeping the feast. That's why in Colossians chapter 2, verse 16 to 17, okay, one of my favorite Bible verse, sabi niya, therefore do not let anyone judge you by what you eat or drink, or with regard to a religious festival, a new moon celebration, or a Sabbath day. Then in verse 17, these are a shadow of the things that were to come. The reality, however, is found in Christ. So, he's saying that these feast days are prophetic in nature. And it lays down, it outlines God's master plan of salvation for mankind. And if you're keeping the feast, we will definitely will not be deceived on the chronological events and happening of these things. Hindi tayo magkakamali at hindi tayo maloloko. Because alam natin ang pagkakasunod. Okay? Malinaw yan. That's one key. Number 2, SDA's chronological occurrence of the events is a bit confusing. Diba? Darating si Jesus, papatayin lahat ng wicked, lahat ng righteous isasama sa heaven. They will rule and reign for 1,000 years. While Satan is bound on earth for 1,000 years. With no people, no nations to deceive. Okay? And then after 1,000 years, babalik si Jesus with the saints at bubuhayin yung mga wicked na pinatay para madaya sila ni Satan. And then papatayin ulit sila. Double. Okay? Bit confusing because they only rely on the understanding and the writings of their prophetess, Ellen G. White, but not basing their beliefs or teachings in the Bible. SDA do not keep the feast days. That's one major shortcoming. May Christmas pa. In fact, hati sila. May nagki-Christmas, may wala. Ngayon, merong naniniwala sa Trinity, merong wala. May naniniwala sa feast days, merong wala. Hati na ang SDAs. Number 3, millennium in heaven or here on earth. For us to better understand it, we have to know the millennium per se. Bakit ba may millennium? At ano ba ang millennium? Millennium per se is talking of 1,000-year reign of Christ as King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And why there is a need to rule in a godly government for 1,000 years? Why there is a need to rule for 1,000 years? Why Christ has to be a King of Kings and the Lord of Lords? And with all the saints as kings and priests. Why there is a need if after all they will go to heaven for 1,000 years? Okay. Simply because there are problems here on earth and not in heaven. The problems are here. The problems that this world is confronting today, facing on a day-to-day basis. Problem on hunger, problem on famine, on poverty, problem on the effects of the result and the revenge of the nature, the climate change. Okay? Problems on war, peace. The problems are here, not in heaven. Wala problema doon. They keep on singing every day. The angels, there are how many? Millions, billions, they're singing every day to praise God and Son Jesus. Diba? Ang problema nandito eh. Wala doon. And the Bible is very clear if you read the Revelation. Before the second coming of Christ, only at least 1/3 will be left Okay? In the population, in the whole world population. Definitely pagdating, yung 3 billion na yan, kung 9 billion man pagdating during that time, 1/3. Kasi 7 billion na tayo, right? At mabilis ang pag-increase ng population. India will become number 1. Okay? Ma-overtake na nila yung China. Eventually. Okay? So, ang dami. We don't know how many billions when Christ returns. But how many it is, only 1/3 will be alive. Bakit? Because prior to the second coming of Christ, there will be series of events that will happen. And we all know that. The 7 seals, the 7 trumpets, and the 7 plagues. That's why 1/3 lang matitira. But the 1/3 who are alive will not be killed. And the earth will not be emptied. They will continue to live and will be subject to the rulership of Christ and the saints for 1,000 years. So the problem is not in heaven. The problem is here on earth. It is a godly kingdom or government to be set up here on earth. So Christ can manifest to the whole world what is the right way of living, ruling under God's Son. Number 4 that we have to understand. Since the SDAs, they do not keep the feast, they do not understand the harvest of the souls. Okay. That's why it's God's master plan of salvation for mankind. Millennium actually is a great harvest time. In the timeline of God's master plan of salvation, it is a time of great harvest. Okay? Ito, nakwento ko na kay John. May message next year sa feast. The Great Fall Harvest. Okay? Blow by blow, we will look at the events. Pagdating ni Jesus Christ, what will happen all the way to the last great day. And that is talking of the Great Fall Harvest. Kaya ang season niyan, fall din. Because that's representing the greatest harvest of God. Because right now, we are representing the first fruits. Okay? We are representing the first fruits. Hindi pa ganun kadaming harvest. But itong first fruits, they are more stable, okay? And they cannot be moved in their faith. Kaya matibay ang first fruits. That's why these first fruits will be part of the rulership for 1,000 years. And when we help Christ during this fall harvest, a lot of people will be harvested, will be saved. And that will start on the millennial reign of Jesus. Then of course at the end, may madadaya. But after that, the great white throne, and then yung great white throne, we know that more and more will be saved. This represents great fall harvest. And during this time, we will be with Christ as the kings and priests to help Him to bring more people to salvation, to enter the kingdom of God. And let's just read some biblical verses describing the millennial conditions or scenarios. Let's read in Isaiah chapter 2 in verses 1 to 5. You can read from the screen. This is what Isaiah, son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. In the last days, the mountain of the Lord's temple will be established as chief among the mountains. Talking of God's government will be established as the chief government of all the governments on this earth. It will be raised above the hills, and all nations will stream to it. Many peoples will come and say, "Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob. He will teach us His ways so that we may walk in His paths. The law will go out from Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem." Question: If millennium is in heaven, 1,000 years, itong mga taong na to, saan sila pupunta? And who are these people? If the people on this earth, the wicked, they were all killed already. Sabi dun sa teaching ng Adventist. When this will happen, kailan ito? In their timeline. It's lost. It's lost. Okay? And the law will go out from Zion, the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. Okay. Then in verse 4, He will judge between the nations. Can you judge between the nations while you are in heaven? And who will you judge? The righteous? You're not the righteous. Wala ka namang husgahan sa earth. Eh, nandun na lang si Satan. It's totally confusing. Hindi align. It's horrible. Okay? He will judge between the nations and will settle disputes for many peoples. They will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will not take up sword against nation, nor will they train for war anymore. Then in verse 5, Come, O house of Jacob, let us walk in the light of the Lord. Isaiah chapter 9 in verse 6, we can read, For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders. And he will be called the Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Okay. Of the increase of his government and peace, there will be no end. He will reign on David's throne, not in heaven. Very clear. And over his kingdom, establishing and upholding it with justice and righteousness from that time on and forever. And the seal of the Lord Almighty will accomplish this. Verse 7 na yan. Okay. Then in Isaiah chapter 11, let's start in verse 1. A shoot will come up from the stump of Jesse. From his roots a branch will bear fruit. The Spirit of the Lord will rest on him, the Spirit of wisdom and of understanding, and the Spirit of counsel and of power, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord. And he will delight in the fear of the Lord. He will not judge by what he sees with his eyes, or decide by what he hears with his ears. But with righteousness he will judge the needy. With justice he will give decisions for the poor of the earth. There are people on this earth during his rulership. It's not Satan, the only inhabitant. He will strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, with the breath of his lips. He will slay the wicked. Righteousness will be his belt, and faithfulness the sash around his waist. And in verse 6, the wolf will live with the lamb. Will there be animals in heaven?
Yan.
Yeah. The leopard will lie down with the goat, the calf and the lion and the yearling together, and a little child will lead them. The cow will feed with the bear, their young will lie down together, and the lion will eat straw like the ox, the moo. Huh? The infant will play near the hole of the cobra. Okay? And the young child put his hand into the viper's nest. They will neither harm nor destroy on all my holy mountain for the earth will be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. Then in next verse, in that day the root of Jesse will stand as a banner for the peoples. The nations will rally to him, and his place of rest will be glorious. Verse 11, In that day, the Lord will reach out his hand a second time to reclaim the remnant that is left of his people from Assyria, from Lower Egypt, from Upper Egypt, from Coast, from Elam, from Babylonia, from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. Then in Isaiah chapter 65, starting verse 17, Behold, I will create new heavens and a new earth. The former things will not be remembered, nor will they come to mind. But be glad and rejoice forever in that I will create. For I will create Jerusalem to be a delight and its people a joy. I will rejoice over Jerusalem and take delight in my people. The sound of weeping and of crying will be heard in it no more. Never again will there be in it an infant who lives but a few days, or an old man who does not live out his years. He who dies at 100 will be thought a mere youth, and he who fails to reach 100 will be considered worse. Talking of people in the millennium who will live longer. Just like in the time of Adam and Eve. It's paradise restored. The environment, the food, the fruits, okay? The healing of the people, for the trees, the leaves that will heal the people. And people will live long. There will be peace. There will be prosperity. There will be a change of nature. Animals, before, there will be a change of that. Animals will become friendly. And people will become at peace. It's a different scenario. Let's continue. Next verse. They will build houses and dwell in them, and they will plant vineyards and eat their fruit. Wow, sarap! Si Ray, nakiki-harvest lang siya doon sa likod niya. Akala ko, after yung pinapakita yung picture na yun, akala ko, ayun ang lawak ng ari-arian. Hindi pala sa likod na yun na, hindi binabaha doon. Okay. Next. No longer will they build houses and others live in them, or plant and others eat. For as the days of a tree, so will be the days of my people. My chosen ones will long enjoy the works of their hands. It's talking of right now, you build your own house, pinaganda mo, nagkaroon ka ng mansion because God has blessed you so much. After you die, what will happen? Mga anak mo, eventually, anak mo titira, kakaroon ng mga asawa, yung mga asawa, yun ang mga problema. And people, different people will live in your house. You will not enjoy it because you have a short life. But in the millennium, you will enjoy the works, the fruits of the works of your hands because you will live long. You will dwell in the house that you have built. And you will eat from the fruits of the works of your hands. Continue. And they will not toil in vain or bear children doomed to misfortune. For they will be a people blessed by the Lord, they and their descendants with them. Next verse. Before they call, I will answer. Can you imagine? While they're still speaking, I will hear. Can you ever imagine that? And the wolf and the lamb will feed together, and the lion will eat straw like the ox. But thus will be the serpent's food. They will neither harm nor destroy on all my holy mount, says. What we just have heard or read are some of the verses describing the condition, the scenarios during the millennial reign of Jesus Christ. And on those verses that we have read, it's very obvious. The millennial reign is not in heaven, but here on earth. There will be people, there will be women, there will be children, there will be plants, animals. It's the same thing that what we see today. But under a different rulership, a godly government, this is what we call the one world government. One world, headed by Jesus Christ as the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, with His saints as kings and priests. The millennium is a 1,000-year reign of Christ with the kings and priests. Meaning with us, it is a great time of harvest of souls for God's qualification and entrance to His kingdom. If the millennium will be spent in heaven, while Satan bound on earth, okay, doing nothing then, or if there are people to deceive, then the plan and the purpose of God will be averted. There will only be few people which you can consider saved, which is in direct contrary to God's plan, that everyone should come to repentance and be saved. Brethren, towards the end, we will be hearing more false teachings, and we should be very, very careful about these things. Let's hear the warning of Christ as written in Matthew chapter 24, in verse 23. 24 in verse 23. At that time, if anyone says to you, "Look, here is the Christ," or "There He is." There He is in heaven with the saints. Right? Sa born again naman, rapture, heaven din. Okay? And Satan will rule on this earth not for 1,000 years sa kanila, but only for 7 years. Okay? The Antichrist will rule. Okay? As influenced by Satan. Ganyan yun sa kanila. Okay? But that's not what the Bible is teaching. At that time, if anyone says to you, "Look, here is the Christ," or "There He is," do not believe it. For false Christs and false prophets will appear and will perform great signs and miracles to deceive even the elect. So be careful with that. Because they're really out there to disqualify us in entering the kingdom of God. To deceive even the very elect. If that were possible. Okay? Continue. See, I have told you ahead of time. Sabi ni Jesus. And we've been experiencing that because we've been talking to a lot of people. We've been meeting a lot of people. We've been conversing to a lot of people, and we've been hearing a lot of different teachings. If we are not careful enough, we might be deceived. Okay? And to continue. So if anyone tells you, "There He is," out in the desert, do not go out. Or "Here He is in the inner rooms," do not believe it. Why? For as lightning that comes from the east is visible even in the west, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. Okay? So yung rapture, na sinasabi din, ng born again, na secretly, you will be raptured. Okay? Kasi mawawala na lang yung katabi mo. Sabi niya ganyan, di ba? Okay, mawawala na lang yung katabi mo.
Damit na lang may naiwan.
Damit na lang may iwan. Secretly raptured.
Sa pelikula ni Nicolas Cage.
Okay? Hindi daw malalaman ng iba na rapture na. That's not what the Bible says. For as the lightning that comes from the east is visible even in the west, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. Continue. Wherever there is a carcass, there the vultures will gather. Continue. Immediately after the distress of those days, the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky and the heavenly bodies will be shaken. At that time, the Son of Man will appear in the sky, and all the nations of the earth will mourn. They will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of the sky with power and great glory. And he will send his angels with a loud trumpet call, and they will gather his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heavens to the other. It's talking of the second coming of Jesus Christ. We know that some people are teaching different things about what is written in the Bible. And we know that the Bible teaches us that Christ will return for the second time. And will not live again, and then will return again for the third time. Wala pong ganyan. Let's read that in Hebrews chapter 9, in verse 28. Hebrews chapter 9 in verse 28. So Christ was sacrificed once to take away the sins of many people, and he will appear a second time, not to bear sin, but to bring salvation to those who are waiting for him. And no mention of the returning of the third time. Bakit? Bakit second lang? Okay? And that was also written in 1 Corinthians chapter 15. In verse 23. Said, but each in his own turn, talking of the resurrection and entering into the kingdom of God. But each in his own turn, Christ the first fruits, then when he comes. When he comes and lives and he comes. Again. Galang naman. When he comes, those who belong to him. The next verse, then the end will come when he hands over the kingdom to God the Father after he has destroyed all dominion, authority, and let's go back to the early verse. This is crucial. 23. Yeah, 23. But each in his own turn, Christ the first fruits, then when he comes, those who belong to him. Okay? What is the next verse? Next verse. Then the end will come when he hands over the kingdom to God the Father after he has destroyed all dominion, authority, and power. Look at the sequence of the events. Okay? Christ is the first fruits. When he comes, those who belong to him. That particular period, the occurrence, the happening of that, it takes a long time. And that includes the millennium, and that includes the second resurrection, and that includes the judgment of the second batch. Because the next event of that is when Jesus Christ will now hand over the kingdom. That's why yung early verse, yung timeline nito when He comes, those who belong to Him. Very long timeline.
Hindi yan titla.
Very long timeline. Dahil ang pinag-uusapan dyan, hindi lang yung mare-resurrect sa first resurrection. It's also talking of the people who will be saved in the millennium and those people who will be judged to be part of the kingdom in the great white throne judgment. After that, okay, only then Christ will hand over the kingdom. Some people, they don't understand. Okay? That's why my topic on the next Feast of Tabernacles, yung particular na yun. When He comes, those who belong to Him. Blow by blow, events. The great fall harvest of God. Wow. Yung buong yun. Yung buong stretch. Okay? So, brethren, I hope now it's a crystal clear to all of us in this room. Kasi during the BS, maigli ang time eh. Okay. Though, nasagot naman, but not that extensively and well explained. Because, hindi natin siyempre buong masasagot yun kung hindi muna natin makukuha ang buo kung ano ang tinuturo nila about millennium. But we know it, ang gist lang ng kanilang doctrine about it is sa heaven yung millennium. And we know that's not the truth. The millennium will be spent here on earth. Christ will rule for 1,000 years as King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And that is with us as kings and priests. It is a great time of harvest of many souls. It is a great time as part of God's plan in bringing many sons. Okay? Oh, may tanong ka, Daddy? Naging Bible study, ah.
Pwede.
Pwede, sige.
Kasi meron ako na-encounter, the Church of God also, the dating daan, no? Ang tinuturo.
Oh, dati daan yun, hindi sa atin yun.
Yes, not in our church.
Member natin yun.
Kay Elisoriano.
Member.
Sabi ng isang,
Membership.
ano ko, katunggali, no? Sabi ko tunggali. Sabi niya, after the millennium, yung last part na, ibibigay ni Jesus Christ all over the throne to God sa heaven na. Bakit ako magkakaganon? Sabi ko. Kasi the New Jerusalem will come down to earth, di ba? Doon eh. Hindi, sabi niya, akit lang yung doon. Doon. Hindi ka ako basahin yung ano,
Revelation.
Revelation. Hindi, 1 Corinthians 15, verse 24 eh.
And then Revelation, bababa yung
Oo.
Actually, sabi mo, bababa si God the Father.
Hindi, tayo raw aakyat.
Ganun.
Dahil daw, you will run over daw, doon sa taas. Doon, hindi rito sa, ano.
Let's go to Revelation. Wala siya makikita ganun sa Bible. Okay. Verse 1 of Revelation 21. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. Then I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God. Tama? Okay? Prepared as a bride beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, now the dwelling of God is with men, and He will live with them. Where God will live? In the new Jerusalem. Sabi niya, now the dwelling of God is with men, and He will live with them. That's why sabi ni Jesus, in my Father's house, there are many rooms. There are many mansions. Where is that house? With many rooms and many mansions. That's the new Jerusalem. That is where God the Father lives. And it will come down. With, of course, God the Father. And then we will live with the Father. And He's saying, now the dwelling of God is with men, and He will live with them. They will be His people, and God Himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. He who was seated on the throne said, I am making everything new. Then He said, write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true. And He said to me, it is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To him who is thirsty I will give to drink without cost from the spring of the water of life. He who overcomes will inherit all this, and I will be his God, and he will be my son. Okay. This particular event, after the new heaven and the new earth, because the old heaven and new earth, wala na siya. Okay. Because it's been purified. There's a refashioning again, new heaven and new earth. Then the New Jerusalem will come down. Then God the Father is there. Okay. When God the Father is there, then there's this great ceremony. The most anticipated event of all time. That we should strive hard to be part of. Kung meron kayong mga inaatin ng okasyon, importante, uy, birthday! Ng nanay mo, ng tatay mo, uy, wedding anniversary ng nanay at tatay mo, hindi pwedeng hindi ka mawala. Birthday ng best friend mo, birthday ng anak mo. Oh. Okasyon sa opisina, malaki. Okasyon sa school, malaki. You know that you want to be there, di ba, right? No, I should be there. It's a maganda okasyon. Of all the occasions that you want to attend, this is the one ceremony and occasion that you should not miss. And you should strive hard to be part of this ceremony. Because this is the handover ceremony. When God the Father will come down with the new Jerusalem, on this new heaven and new earth, then Jesus Christ is waiting. Because when He comes, those who belong to Him. May trabaho pa siyang gagawin pagbalik. He has to complete the family members. And once it is completed, executed the plan towards the end, God the Father will come back. And here we are waiting with Jesus. Diba sabi, pagdating niya, wherever He will be, we will be with Him until He hands over us to the Father. And that's a great ceremony that we can read in Hebrews chapter 2. It's a great ceremony. It starts in verse 10. In bringing many sons to glory, it was fitting that God, for whom and through whom everything exists, should make the author of their salvation perfect through suffering. Both the one who makes men holy and those who are made holy are of the same family. That's why Jesus is not ashamed to call us or to call them brothers. That's why sabi sa Revelation, di ba? Sabi, I will be their God and they will be my sons and daughters. And we belong to the same family. And He, referring to Jesus, He says, I will declare your name to my brothers. During at that time, when God the Father will come down, and He said, I will declare your name to my brothers. Okay? In the presence of the congregation, I will sing your praises. You know, can you imagine that ceremony? When God the Father is there, and then He will say to the brothers, brothers and sisters, this is our Father. This is our Father. And there will be singing of praises. And again, He will say, I will put my trust in Him. Jesus Christ returning again. All the authority that was given to Him by the Father. Because He will be also subject to the Father at the end. And that's what 1 Corinthians chapter 15 talks about. Towards the end, when Paul wrote about it. Diba? And I will put my trust in Him. And again, Jesus Christ will say to the Father, Father, here I am, and your children that you have given and trusted to me. So, Jesus Christ, papakilala, my brothers and sisters, this is our Father. Father, here we are, your children. Wow! Grabe. Grabing ceremony. Okay? And that is towards the end. And what the Father will say? What the Father will say? Let's go back to Revelation chapter 21. What the Father will say? Hello? Akala ko hello. Okay? What the Father will say? He, verse 7, he who overcomes will inherit all this. I will be his God, and he will be my son. What the Father will say, my sons and daughters, inherit the kingdom that was prepared since the foundation of the earth. And that's in Matthew chapter 21. But inherit all this, and you will be my children, and I will be your God, your Father. In verse 34 of Matthew, and verse 31 of Matthew 25. When the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the angels with him, he will sit on his throne in heavenly glory. And all the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. Then the king will say to those on the right, come, you are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom that is prepared for you since the creation of the world. That's it. That's the ceremony. When he hands over the kingdom to the Father. And in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, let's go back again. First Corinthians chapter 15 in verse 24. Then the end will come when he hands over the kingdom to God the Father, after he has destroyed all dominion, authority, and power. For he must reign until he has put all his enemies under his feet. And the last enemy to be destroyed is death. For he, referring to the Father, has put everything under his feet, referring to Jesus Christ. Meaning everything he has put in the authority and the power of Jesus Christ. Now when it says that everything has been put under Christ, it is clear that this does not include the one who put the authority to Jesus, and that's God himself. Who put everything under Christ. When he has done this, then the Son himself will be made subject to him, who put everything under him, so that God may be all in all. That's why in the ceremony, at the end, Jesus Christ will say, Father, here we are, your children. And that includes him. As the eldest, the firstborn. He will be subject to the power and authority of God. Okay? So brethren, towards the end, in the last days, we will be hearing a lot more of false teachings. That is to deceive even the very. Please be careful. Please be careful. Because during the tough times of our life, sometimes this may encroach you unknowingly. Do not be surprised. Minsan, when you are at the lowest moment of your life, when you have so many problems, minsan dyan aatake yan. And if you are weak in your faith, and you cannot stand where the truth is, chances are you will be deceived. So please stand firm in your faith and be strong and always ready to defend the truth. Till the end, till the second coming of Christ, or till you close your eyes. Because the next waking moment will be the resurrection. So on that note, brethren, happy Sabbath.